Hard work, boy, I made of it. Yeah. If we talking dirt, no, I came from it. Talking hard work, boy, I made of it. Early in the morning, wake my daughter up. Got some
Yes. Welcome to URPradio. I'm DJ Denise. Oh my gosh, we've got another amazing interview for you all this week. Terell Safadi is a Canadian rapper from the West Coast. 2001 Canadian Music Week Festival Indie Hip Hop Rap R&B Artist Group and Duo of the Year nominee, who has laid a solid foundation for his career with over 3.5 million streams, 3 million video views to date. Welcome to the show, Terell Safadi. How are you today?
I'm amazing. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Yo, we love this. Getting to know artists from our community. This is amazing. We've been doing these interviews for over 10 years now, and it's amazing to actually get to chat with you. We've been playing your music for a little minute over here.
Yes.
So welcome to the show. You have to tell us about your journey, being from the West Coast. It's a whole different vibe. You've been across Canada with your music. So please tell us about those early beginnings, traveling, because you know about performing before the pandemic and things like that.
Right.
And they're artists nowadays, they're just the new ones are just coming up, and they
Right.
all they know is pandemic time. So tell us about traveling across Canada.
It's a lot of long drives.
Hey.
I'll say that. It's a lot of long drives, a lot of beautiful scenery. I picked up a lot of inspiration during those times. I have this one bar in one of my songs. It's I was doing all them shows when no one showed. So it was at the beginning it was a serious grind, just doing whatever show you could get offered type thing, you know what I mean? But like you said, I've been across Canada a couple times with Bone Thugs and done West Coast runs with A Boogie and Yellow Wolf and whatnot. That was the last one right before the pandemic, and that was super, super dope. Yellow Wolf's good peoples.
Those memories too. Oh my gosh, I always love asking artists about those road shows.
Right.
Being on the road, especially going across Canada. It's so beautiful, and we got some crazy weather in Canada that Americans don't really know about, because going through the Rocky Mountains, I'm sure those Edmonton
crazy.
shows must have been wild. You want to talk about being on the road? Were there any hairy times?
I got a crazy story. I got a good one. This is an exclusive. I never told this one either. So I was on tour with Raekwon.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we had a show. Yeah. Shout out to Woo. Shout out Raekwon. He calls me Rel. Yeah.
Wow,
so we were in Nanaimo to start.
Wow.
We went up to Kelowna, and then we were supposed to make our way to Calgary. So we had an off day. We were driving through Golden, and there was a landslide, and there's only one road to get through to Alberta.
Damn.
So we drove all the way up, hours and hours and hours up, and then they're yeah, there's a landslide. You guys can't get through. So we had to get a hotel, stop in this random town.
What?
And then drive all the way back to Kelowna, get a flight to go over to Calgary and Edmonton. But it was cool because it was during those times I was built a relationship with Raekwon, you know what I mean? So
one-on-one time, right?
Yeah.
That's fire. Not on stage, hanging and getting food, you know? That's what's up. Oh my God. The legends in the game, that's fire. I love hearing stories like that too. How did you know that you could sing, and when did you really take your musical career to the next level?
Well, I can't sing, but I can rap my ass off.
Okay.
I
heard you hit a couple of notes.
Yeah, when the engineers are nice to me and give me a little melodyne, I hit a note or two. But for the most part, I just do my rap thing. But it was yeah, probably I had a little secret notebook around the time 50 Cent and G-Unit came out. So whenever that was when I started writing my little raps. It was before 50 Cent and after 50 Cent. It was before 50 Cent, I wasn't a rapper. It was Get Rich or Die Trying. Dropped the next day I was a rapper type thing, you know what I mean?
Real?
So
wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, 50 Cent. And those videos were fire too. Did you catch the videos?
I really did.
Wow. I don't know. When I was a kid, my parents they didn't do the music video tang for me, so I missed that. I had to live through the music only. So until I got older and I got my own spot.
That's probably for the best.
Exactly. I know, right?
Yeah.
All those booties shaking.
They was looking out for you.
Yeah, no, 50 Cent, that was fine. And then the Eminem phase, did you jump into the Eminem too?
The whole G-Unit, 50 Cent, Shady Aftermath, it was all crazy, the Obi Trice, you know what I mean? That whole,
the whole camp.
Yeah, just
D12.
the whole...
Not so much?
I didn't really get into D12, but shout out to them.
Oh yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah.
They were a vibe.
Yeah.
They did
their thing.
They did their thing.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I got some shade over here. Shade room. Just kidding.
No, I'm just keeping it 100. I went on tour with them in my early days too. Yeah,
Oh
up
my
in
God,
Revelstoke and stuff like that. So.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Revelstoke! Shout out to Revelstoke too. That's a BC plug right there.
Yeah, that's way out there.
Yo, for real. Oh my gosh. Okay. Shout out to Michelle Heyoka.
Yeah,
I interviewed her early in the pandemic as well, and I met her at a Wu-Tang show.
She was working at the same studio that I record at, so
Word.
I was just in there one day, and the engineer was like, "Yo, you need to hear this." Like, girl, you know what I mean? Like, hear her voice. I was like, heard it. I was like, "Yo, this is crazy. Like, what? She's got insane vocals." You know what I mean? So I like to work with like upcoming artists, like even if they don't really have like followings or whatever. She has a following that she's been developing, but at the time I wasn't familiar with her, so I was just like, "Yo," it was based off the talent. You know what I mean? And I just heard her stuff. I was like, let's work. And
That's fire.
I had kind of like an idea for a song that I wanted her to sing it. The song that we did originally had me on the hook singing. It's called Made for This, if y'all want to look at it.
You know I was made for this, taking chances, taking risks.
But it was me singing on the hook. It just wasn't really cutting through. So I was like, let's see if she could, you know what I mean? And she killed it. And,
Vocalist.
yeah. That was a record that I performed at Rogers Arena as well, too.
Yeah, that's where taking me to the next question too. Family's everything for you too. I saw during the pandemic, following your social media, got to see you perform for the Canucks. That's a big look, yo. Tell us about like going down there, getting to. Did you sing the national anthem, or you sang a couple songs?
I just rapped my song.
Okay.
Yeah, I did my solo song. Okay. I've actually performed twice. The first time I did it, the whole reason why they even invited me is because I did a remix back in the day called Black, Red, Yellow over Wiz Khalifa's Black and Yellow. Blew up, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
Fast forward, you know what I mean? They did the 10-year anniversary. They were bringing the skate jerseys back. They wanted me to come perform it. So I did. That was in 2019 or 2020, right before the pandemic hit. Okay. And then I actually performed again last year, which was the Made for This song with Heyoka that we were talking about.
That's what's up. Oh my gosh. Fast forward. Like these big arenas where people are getting to know you. Like I'm sure like even some opportunities must have popped out of that. Like tell us about like, you got this LA connect that's super tight. You go down to LA a lot, like more than most people from Vancouver. You want to talk about the LA connect?
Yeah, I don't know. I just always been drawn to the city, like even before I was serious with rapping. Like I was like skateboarding and stuff like that. Nice. Like the friend group I had, we were like big into skateboarding and whatnot. So if you're familiar with the skate world, it's like it's the same thing as music. It's like that's the place you want to be to skate. You know what I mean? It's got the biggest industry. So even before then, it was always like fixated on like how I'm gonna get out here. You know what I mean? So. But when I did become an artist, I just started taking those trips, in 2014 and 2015, started getting familiar with the city and then kind of like starting to fall in love with the city and being like, yo, I need to like live here type thing. So I actually moved out there for 3 years and I went to a production school called SAE. Oh, shit. Yeah, I don't really speak on that too much, but y'all get the exclusive.
Hey, wow.
So I went to SAE, it was a little production school. And after those like 6 months, I was like, yeah, I got to figure out a way to live here. So I went back to Vancouver for like 2-3 months, stacked up, went back down, got my like visa and stuff in order and kind of went down. And then after I was done kind of living there, like I came back to Vancouver to like be more involved with my daughter. Right. And ever since then, I just go down every few months, connect with my peoples down there, my producers, studios, and just get inspiration,
That's what's up. No, that's serious. So, because like, did you ever hang out at Venice Beach or what was it more like downtown LA that was your spot?
Everywhere. I lived. Okay. The dope thing about my experience in LA is like I got to live everywhere. When I first moved down there, I lived in Hollywood. Oh shit. And then like when I came back, I lived in like not so good of an area, which is called Hawthorne, which is actually like kind of ghetto. And it'd be like shit popping off outside the window.
What?
Yeah, off 135th and Doty. So if you're from LA, that's where I was staying at for like a good year and a bit. Then I moved out to the Valley, which you know what I mean. Yeah, people in LA, they say it's all. Yeah, they say it's safe out there. You know what I mean. So safer out there. So I was living out there. Okay. Then back to Hollywood. So I moved around. I made some good rounds in there. Met some good people, and I just always go down and check up with them and catch those vibes.
That's what's up. Oh my gosh, yeah. LA life, like we're all on the West Coast. Like, do you ever bump into any celebrities when you're down there? I'm curious.
All the time. I had opened up for St. John one time and in Vancouver. Nice. And then like it was so random. Like a month later, me and my DJ Aaron, shout out AJ, we're at this spot in Hollywood called Katana. It's like a dope ass like food spot. Like it's a vibe. You
You
want to go.
gotta get the reservations. They got the
Yeah.
reservations on that.
So we're like waiting or whatever. We're drinking at the bar. We step aside from the bar. We're getting seated to our table. I'm like walking by. I'm like, yo, there goes St. John.
Oh,
He's like sitting right there. I wasn't even gonna say anything, but Aaron, you know him. He's like, yo, tapped on his shoulder. He's like, hey, what up? What up? He's like, oh shit, what's up with y'all? Like, you guys out here for a show? Because it was Grammy weekend. So
Wow,
I was
everybody's
stoked. Yeah, I was stoked that he was like, oh, you guys out here for a show? He recognized us because we were chopping it up backstage. So that was super cool. Like, that was one of the many experiences. And one time, OT Genesis, he tried to steal my girl. Yeah, on the low. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
You got the story. You got the story.
Yeah.
Damn. That's oh my gosh. The real stories are coming out.
Exactly.
Oh man, OT Genesis. We don't even hear about that. I haven't heard any new music out of OT Genesis in a minute. He's staying quiet.
Right.
So he should just keep staying quiet. That's all good.
For sure.
So we should talk about like what you got your sights on next. Like big goals for like 2022 is almost over. We have one more month left.
Right.
So do you want to shout out any big things that you're working on?
Right. So we got the Came to Party record with the legend, The Game. We're pushing that hard.
Came a long way, now I'm on the hit with game. Came to party tonight, hopping that Cooper Sky through the light.
And there's some content coming that's like in support of that I'm excited to drop for you guys for the end of the year. And then next year we're gonna be hitting some towns. So look out for a tour announcement. Gonna be coming to a little city near you.
Do you have any big cities that you're gonna stop at other than LA?
You know we're gonna do Vancouver, of course,
Oh,
but it'll be coming out soon.
Oh,
we're
word,
working
everybody.
on the routing right now, but yeah, we'll
Okay.
drop it real soon.
Make sure everybody stay tuned. We should talk about Came to Party. I just wanted to make sure. Like, so did you fly out to LA and like how was the vibe on creating that song and getting like who's the producer on it too? I think
So
I missed
yeah,
that.
shout out Ricky Tovey. We constructed that here in Vancouver from scratch. And basically it went through a couple versions at the beginning. Wow. You know what I mean? I kind of got it right, and then we pitched the record or whatever. But shout out Ricky Tovey. We created like a super custom beat that was unique to me. And like I said earlier, like I have a lot of like 90s like deep house influences and stuff like that. So we kind of had some electronic feel to it, you know, while still keeping it like, you know, rap and hip hop. But shout out Ricky Tovey. He was the guy on that one.
Yeah, that's what's up. I really love the vibe because like, you know, it's like it's for the club. Like,
right. We came to party.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to listen to it with your fam, your
Exactly.
friends, you know.
That's what's up. You want to turn up like and all the like. Well, not, I was gonna say all the Game songs are like that. Like they got the vibe. You know, you get people moving, get them shaking.
Right.
A shout out to getting with a legend too, who's in the game too. Like, do you want to talk? Did you all have a conversation? How did that all work out?
Basically, me and Game basically just like connected through Instagram. I had somebody helping me out that was like, I wouldn't say managing, but they were just like involved in my team, and basically they knew somebody that was close to him. You know, we pitched it that way, and the rest is history. We got a super banger.
Oh my gosh! And shout out to that because like the legends right now. We're watching like so much going on. How bad did the Coolio death passing hit you? Like, you know, that was came out of left field like crazy.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
it's always tragic to like watch like the forefathers of hip hop and like the people that have like these legendary moments within hip hop, you know, like obviously pass on and transition. Like Coolio, for me, like my babysitter always used to play his records and stuff like that. So
for real?
it was kind of like, it's like, damn, that was like one of my first introductions to hip hop almost, you know, like one of them, like the Dangerous Minds soundtrack, like with Coolio and shit. So
yeah, oh my gosh. Rest in peace to Coolio.
Right,
Shout out to that.
Coolio.
Oh man, I really love sitting and chatting with people who know about the history of hip hop and music too, because some of these youngsters, I don't know if you've talked to any youngsters who were like, Young Thug is like old school or something.
Wow.
I'm like,
wow.
I was like, okay, Young Thug, all
That's
right.
crazy.
But okay, damn. But yeah, you've been like out here for a minute, and we were talking about a lot of the forefathers of music and stuff like that. And you mentioned 50 Cent. I'm curious too. Was a lot of West Coast music some of your influence as well? Like, did you like listen to some of the Dre stuff and like, you know, Snoop Dogg and do it like back in the day? How did that kind of rap influenced you?
Back to my babysitter, which I touched on with the Coolio thing. He was also a fan of like Snoop Dogg. So like the Snoop Dogg Doggy Style album was like the first album cover I saw and discovered. I'm like, whoa, what's this? What's going on here? So like, yeah, West Coast music has always been like a big influence because like we're on the West Coast. It's a couple hours away on a flight. You know what I mean? And some of the people I grew up skating with were just super big into like Bay Area, like underground music and like just West Coast music. So I have like a deep plethora of like West Coast hits, like from people that, you know, mainstream don't really know about and stuff like that.
The
so,
underground.
Yeah. But shout out to East Coast too. You know, I obviously listen to the Biggie Smalls, Mobb Deeps, and the Big L's, you know, all that. Even the list goes on, but you know, we got to rep the coast.
Exactly. This West Coast vibe is fire. Like nobody really understands it when they come up from the. I don't know if you have a lot of friends from the East Coast, like Toronto and stuff like that, but they always talk about how chill Vancouver and like the West Coast is.
Right.
You get that vibe?
I have a few friends for sure. They're always like, man, you guys are so chill out here. Like,
we're like, yeah, you're like, that's just the way it rolls. We just do like that. Oh my gosh. So the pandemic did hit people really hard. I'm curious because you just kept it moving and kept it 100. Like, did you develop any pandemic routines or anything like that? Like with writing and stuff like that? How did you get through the pandemic, like being bored that people usually are?
Actually, there was a studio I was recording at. Luckily, they were able to like figure out a way to do sessions where it was just the engineer and the artist.
Dope.
So I actually recorded like, it's funny, 2 projects during that time. Yeah, I was writing a lot, sipping Patron on ice on my balcony, working out and shit like I was in jail or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we had good weather at that time too, so I was on my balcony with the workout bands. Gyms were closed, but I just used the most of my time and recorded a bunch of music. You mentioned I was nominated in 2021 for a project, and that was Champagne in the Morning. That was all done like quarantine, just like caught a super vibe. And then the next year I dropped a project called Get Money Mind State, but the majority of it was recorded during that like month and a half of like, I don't know, it was a real lucrative time for like the creative juices. So I just went in
grind mode.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh. And we have Easy On Me you wrote as well. Tell us, when did Easy On Me come out?
Easy On Me came out earlier this year. That's a collab between an artist I work with and record with, Chris Antonio. Shout out my boy Chris. He's an amazing R&B singer from Surrey.
Wow.
We did a collab album. We did 5 tracks. We actually have 2 other tracks, Come See Me Now and In the City. We'll get to those another day, but today's about the Easy On Me.
Right?
And it's just a super banger. I mean, I'm a little bit biased, but it's a banger. It's
That's what's up. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's what I was saying. I hear you singing on this. So your engineers do take it there with you.
Right. I do sing on Easy On Me. Yeah, but that's Chris too. We're going back and forth. But yeah, I got my sing on that track for sure.
Okay. That's what's up. What's up. I love hearing this. The working out those vocal cords and knowing those ranges too, because not everybody can do that.
Right. Hitting those notes.
Hitting them high notes. Now, I'm curious about when you go to shows and stuff like that. What drew you to like being on stage and wanting to like perform and be like out front? Like, did you do any concerts when you were younger, like a kid that really stood out to you, like any talent shows and stuff like that?
Definitely never have done a talent show, but like, did the like classic school plays and all that stuff like that. Fire. But yeah, I don't know. My first show, actually, you getting all the good stories from me, Denise.
I love this.
So my first show was actually in Vancouver at the Anza Club.
Dope. I love the Anza Club.
And it was an open mic.
Word.
And I had this song called Living Golden at the time with my boy Young Hungry. Shout out my dog Hungry.
What?
And yeah, we sampled Jill Scott, Living Golden or whatever, and it was like basically open mic. Yeah, it was open mic. I had my Gino Green Global hoodie on, and I was basically like about to perform. They're like, okay, you guys are on next or whatever, and I'm like, okay. I'm like having my Eminem moment where I'm like going through it before I hit stage, you know what I mean? And then like all of a sudden I'm like, nah, I can't do this. I'm out of here. So I go to walk out the club. Oh shit. I go to walk out on my dog Hungry. Damn. I go to walk out and he's coming down the stairs and he's like, you ready? I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I guess so.
Oh, damn. You just had to turn around and get going.
Yeah, turned around and we did it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Though, and Anza Club, shout out to Anza Club. That stage is fire. Like you can't tiptoe out. You seen by everybody.
Right. So yeah, I was literally walking out like just like, yo, I can't do it. Like I'm out of here. And then he's like, yo, you ready? Like ain't no turning back now.
Eminem moment for real.
Yeah.
Yo, oh my gosh. Okay, we got I'm Ready up next. Now let's talk about this song. Who's the producer on this track?
Hossie Beats. He's actually from Toronto, I believe.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Toronto. Oh my gosh.
shout
And
out
when did you
Hossie.
put this song out?
This one we dropped sometime in July, I think.
Okay.
I think it was July 28th.
Summer vibes.
Yep.
Yeah, again, this is another bop you got going.
Little West Coast banger.
Yep, for real. You put out the heat for Van City, like, yo,
Thank you, appreciate
and thank you for repping for us. Like, you've been doing it for a minute. We got to make sure that social media gets shouted out. Like, where can people get everything from you?
So yeah, you can find everything. It's pretty simple. It's at Terell Safadi. We spell it with 1 R, 2 L's. You know, hopefully we're gonna have the spelling in the episode for you guys.
Yeah.
But I'm Terell Safadi on everything. You know,
Yes.
so pull up on me on my socials. So show y'all some love.
That's what's up. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for joining us on URP Radio. It's been fire getting to know like all of the ins and outs of your your whole musical career. We
Right.
could go into this for hours. I could sit here all day.
100%. You pulled some good stories out too, ones that I forgot about. So I'm happy to share those with you guys and the people. You know.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.